Most people spend 40 years working for someone else and retire with just enough to survive. The people who figured out passive income spent those same 40 years building machines that paid them while they slept. Here are 10 of them, and every single one starts with less money than you think. The first one is a water refilling station. This is one of the most overlooked businesses in warm, developing regions, and it is hiding in plain sight. Clean drinking water is not optional. People need it every day, regardless of what the economy is doing, regardless of what season it is, and regardless of whether they are rich or poor. A water refilling station uses a filtration and filling machine to purify water and dispense it into containers that customers bring in themselves. Your cost per liter is a fraction of what you charge. Your customers come back on a fixed schedule because they run out. Once the machine is set up and the station is running, your daily operation is simple, your customer base is local and loyal, and your product never goes out of demand. This is not a trendy business. It is a permanent one. The second idea is a peanut butter machine. Raw peanuts are cheap. Processed peanut butter sells for 3 to 5 times the cost of the raw material. The machine that sits between those two prices is small, affordable, and easy to operate. You grind fresh peanut butter in batches, pack it into labeled containers, and sell it to households, bakeries, market vendors, and food stalls in your area. Fresh, locally made peanut butter with no additives is something health-conscious buyers actively look for, and they will pay a premium for it over the factory version sitting on a supermarket shelf. The margin is strong, the raw material is easy to source, and the demand does not disappear. The third one is an ice block machine. An unpopular opinion, but most people overcomplicate the idea of starting a food business. An ice block machine is proof that simplicity wins. You connect it to water and power, and it produces large, solid blocks of ice that fishermen, market vendors, restaurants, and event organizers need every single day. The product has a built-in expiration because it melts, which means your customers are back the next morning. You are not chasing new buyers every week. You are serving the same people on a daily cycle, and that cycle becomes your income. The fourth idea is a small soap-making machine. Soap is one of those products that sits in every home, every school, every hospital, and every business in the world without exception. A small cold process or hot process soap machine allows you to produce bars of soap in batches using basic raw materials like oils, lye, and fragrance. Your cost per bar is low. Your selling price per bar in retail or wholesale is several times your production cost. You can sell plain utility soap to households and institutions at volume, or you can produce premium handmade soap with natural ingredients and sell it at a higher price point to boutiques, gift shops, and online buyers. The machine gives you the ability to serve both markets depending on where you see the most opportunity. The fifth one is a candle making machine. I went to business school, so you do not have to. And one of the things nobody teaches you there is that decorative and functional products with low raw material costs and high perceived value are some of the most profitable small-scale manufacturing businesses you can run. Candles are exactly that. Wax, wicks, fragrance, and a mold are all it takes to produce a product that sells in home decor, shops, at markets, in churches, at events, and online. A candle-making machine speeds up your production and gives you consistency in size and quality. Religious and ceremonial candles alone represent a steady bulk market in many regions. Add decorative and scented candles, and you have a product line that reaches multiple buyer categories from the same machine. The sixth idea is a briquette making machine. This one surprises most people, but the numbers make it hard to ignore. A briquette machine compresses agricultural waste like sawdust, rice husks, corn cobs, and dry leaves into dense fuel blocks that burn longer and cleaner than raw wood or charcoal. In areas where cooking fuel is a daily expense for households, restaurants, and food vendors, briquettes are a cheaper and more efficient alternative. Your raw material is often free or nearly free because it is agricultural waste that farmers and mills want removed. You compress it, you package it, and you sell it to the same people who are already spending money on fuel every week. The raw material cost is as low as a production business can get, and the demand is locked in because cooking is not optional. The The seventh one is a small noodle or pasta making machine. Do you eat instant noodles or do you buy fresh ones? Most people default to the packaged version not because it is better, but because fresh noodles are not available locally. That gap is where this business lives. A noodle making machine produces fresh noodles in batches that you can sell directly to households, restaurants, canteens, and food stalls. Fresh noodles cook faster, taste better, and are increasingly preferred by buyers who are paying more attention to what they eat. The machine is compact, the raw ingredients are flour, water, and eggs, and the product has strong daily demand in communities where noodles are a regular part of the diet. The eighth idea is a small oil pressing machine. Seeds and nuts contain oil, and oil is one of the most universally used food ingredients in every kitchen in the world. A cold press oil machine extracts oil from peanuts, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, coconut, and other locally available crops. The output is pure, unrefined cooking oil that sells for a strong price in local markets because buyers know exactly what is in it. Cold-pressed oil also carries a health premium that lets you charge more per liter than refined commercial oil. Your raw materials are local crops, your machine does the extraction, and your product goes directly to households, restaurants, and food retailers who are already buying oil every week from someone else. The ninth one is a small animal feed pellet machine. This is one of the least glamorous businesses on this list and one of the most consistent. Livestock farmers need feed every single day without exception. A pellet machine compresses grain, bran, grass, and agricultural byproducts into uniform feed pellets that are easier to store, handle, and portion than loose raw feed. Farmers in your area are already spending money on feed. If you can produce a reliable local supply at a competitive price, you do not need to convince anyone that the product is necessary. They already know it is. The challenge is production and supply, and the machine handles both. The 10th idea is a small tile or brick making machine. This one requires more initial capital than the others on this list, but the return justifies it. Construction materials are needed wherever people are building, and in growing towns and cities across developing regions, people are always building. A small compressed earth or concrete block machine produces bricks and tiles using locally available materials like soil, cement, and sand. The product is heavy and does not travel far, which actually works in your favor because local builders will source from the closest reliable supplier rather than pay freight costs from a distant factory. You become that local supplier, and as long as construction continues in your area, your machine keeps producing income. Here is what all 10 of these businesses have in common. None of them ask you to invent something new. None of them require a degree or a specialized background. None of them depend on a trend that could disappear next year. Every single one of them produces a physical product that people in your area already need and already buy from someone else right now. The question is not whether these businesses work. They work in hundreds of towns and cities around the world every single day. The question is whether you are going to be the person running one of them or the person still waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Pick one machine, start there, the rest follows.